Make we begin use data to dey tackle the challenges wey dey waste management matter. Na OBASEKI na im talk this one. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki on Thursday don talk say im government plan to transform the state to come be the cleanest and greatest state for the country. Come tell people wey the waste management concern for the state to begin use data and technology to address the problem of waste matter. Obaseki talk this one for Edo State Waste Management Stakeholders Engagement when the team na repositioning waste management for sustainable environment development. Obaseki talk this one say Edo tanda for ogbonge place for the country, so we dey light up the street because na here most people dey pass dey access other areas for this country. Im come talk say im tanda gidigba if anybody wan support am or do collabo to make Edo the cleanest and greatest state for our country. So Operation Clean and Green Edo go be something wey go launch and e go put body wella to see how we go begin plant tree on every ogbonge anniversary for their birthday.
We are here to talk about something that is very, very important in the life of any community and any state, which is its environment. We know what is going on in the world today. As I speak, we have a Lassa fever crisis in the state and the country. And these diseases, the health situation we're finding ourselves in, are not unrelated to the way we're treating our environment and how we're dealing with, things like the issues of waste. So this session today, it's not just another academic exercise. Going forward, are we prepared to continue to expose ourselves to the risks of just not taking care of our environment? Because if we don't, we are hurting ourselves. So the environment and waste is not something you can negotiate. It's something we must do. It's part of us. This is built in, even in our traditional practices. You cannot, growing up, you could not wake up in the morning without cleaning your environment. So you can't say because we're now living in cities, then we don't do same. So the issue of waste management cannot be a sole preserve of government. Because government is only one of several people that generate waste. Everybody, the society generates waste. It cannot also be a political matter, where you just have one agency and we politicians hijack the agency and then say we have dealt with the issue of waste. It can't work again. Let's tell ourselves the truth. That's why I told the consultant and the ministry that let's bring everybody together. Because if we've been trying to do something and we have adopted measures, we're doing the same thing, and we're not getting the results we want, and we continue doing those same things that same way, then there must be something wrong with us. So where government used to sit down, decide, hire sweepers, do this about waste, and we still have very dirty cities, it means therefore that that system is not working. We must talk to ourselves honestly, step back and say, what do we now do? It never used to be like this. And let me tell you, the problem we have, whether it's in waste, it's in the environment, it's in education, it's because of the failure of government. In the area of waste, it's particularly because of the failure of the local governments. Because waste is a local matter. It was within the domain of local governments. So I'm expecting that when you have your conversations today, let us be honest about ourselves. What do we do to strengthen, to create institutions that will help us do what we have agreed to do? What we've tried to do today is to show you that in terms of the thinking of what should happen, what can happen, what is possible, the opportunities that exist, we have all thought about it. But we don't have the solutions. Neither can we alone as government execute without our people. You all came out to vote for us on September 19th, 2019. And for me, that singular action of our people meant that we should sacrifice everything as a government to make sure that we give our people a better life. In the past, we used to say, go to Cross River, go to Calabar, very, very clean. You won't see one piece of paper on the ground. Are they not Nigerians? Why can that same situation not occur in Edo State? Why? If we all agree from the communities, the heads, the Odionways, the heads of the various communities across the state, that this is what we want to do, we'll sanction anybody who does this, then we'll have clean cities. Why must we emphasize cleanliness and sanitation? You notice now we are lighting up the streets. And we're doing it across the state. Edo is so uniquely positioned in Nigeria. There's no state like Edo. Because whether you like it or not, as we sit here on our own, more than 10,000 people will move across our state every day. Do you understand? So if we make it attractive, beautiful, and welcoming, will they not stop and spend money? If we have 10 million people come into this place, say they spend a night or two because the place is nice, it is safe, it is clean, and each one spends 10,000 naira while they are here. That is more than 100 billion naira. Just that alone. So how do we make our state attractive? It's like a woman, a girl who is looking for suitors. If she doesn't look beautiful, dress up herself, paint her face, men will come. So how do we make Edo beautiful? For me, this year, power of God and the support of all of you, we will start the process of making Edo the cleanest and the greenest. The cleanest and the greenest city in this country. Today is January 13th, right? This is supposed to be the middle of the dry season. What happened this morning? So God has given us something that we just take for granted. There's no reason why you should come into Edo, particularly Benin City, and it will look like you are in the savannah or you are in the arid north. When you look at Google Map now and look at Edo State, look at Benin City, it looks like desert. You don't see any green foliage. Everything is brown because we've cut down all the trees as if we're not in the rainforest anymore. So the operation Clean and Green Edo is something we will launch, and I will get the commitment of everybody, every church leader, every Odionwe, every community leader, every transporter, every civil servant, every school child. Every child must plant a tree on the anniversary of their birthdays. So that we grow a new generation of people who think the environment and are related to the environment. We all generate waste. How do we identify where the waste is generated? That is the baseline we must do. How do we store the waste we have generated? Every day you must take out waste, even in our traditional societies. You must take the waste somewhere in the morning. When we wake up, in those days, you take the broom, you sweep, you gather it somewhere, right? Then they did not have the sophisticated systems. When it's time, you can burn or you can bury. Is that not so? So there's nothing new we're saying. Then, because we're in cities now, somebody will come in, take that waste, transport it to a place. Now, because the waste has value, people will sort it out. The ones that they can process into some other material, they process. The ones that they can process into fertilizer, they process. And they pay. And we have a clean environment. It is not rocket science, it is not difficult. It is just about commitment. We, as a government, will provide leadership. That is our role, to provide leadership. I will not supervise a system where you centralize waste collection anymore. So I expect all of you to tell us honestly how we must go about this. And also tell us how we can get the commitment of our people. So that when we've agreed, everybody will do their part. Let us not say because we've tried something in the past it didn't work, therefore we give up. Let us look for a new way or new ways of doing the same thing. That is what this workshop is about. We have ideas, but we don't have all the solutions. The solutions will come from you working with us.
Oga Patapata for waste matter, Charles Imariagbe, yarn say the intervention for the board increased its revenue from 44 million naira in 2017 to 144 million in 2021.
The idea and the journey to reform the waste management landscape and the position Edo State as the cleanest in the country was birthed by Mr. Governor in the twilight of this dispensation. Given the strategic advantage of the state as a nodal town and a gateway between the north and south, the OBASEKI-led administration set out a mega plan to make the state a tourist attraction and a modern subnational with ambience and serenity. Driven by this, Mr. Governor embarked on a tour on some of these locations where we had challenges in the waste management landscape. At a time when waste management was at its lowest ebb, the Secretary had embarked on a tour of the troubled spots and held meetings with waste managers and other key stakeholders in the waste management value chain to chart a course forward for waste management. The dump sites were visited, as you can see in the pictures, and there was a time where waste was spilling over from the dump sites onto the main roads. In the year 2017, when Mr. Governor came in, our revenue from waste management was 44 million, but with all of these initiatives and the revamping of our system, we were able to grow the revenue with up to over 300%, to the extent that we now raised 144 million in the year 2021.
Ola Arosaya will come give keynote lecture for Edo State Waste Management Vision and Sustainability Goal. Come talk say the vision of the board na to make Edo healthier, cleaner, and plenty of ogbonge things.
We, the stakeholders here, what we've been seeing as a result on the streets, which we are here today to learn more. Where is the destination? Mr. Governor sees the partnership with the private sector as an integral platform for taking us to the destination. And when you talk about sustainability, the private sector cannot be underplayed. And that tells you the recognition and the role the sector was given from the briefing I had from Mr. Governor. Also, we have UNIDO. UNIDO shared in our vision, and UNIDO supported us in 2018 to develop the state policy guidelines, and that policy guidelines was consummated by the final statement from Mr. Governor. That statement is clear, what our mission statement. And let me quote Mr. Governor here. The mission is to make Edo State a healthier, cleaner, beautiful, and conducive environment that promotes the well-being of its teeming population, as well as contributes to its economic and social development sustainably. When you see that statement, you cannot underplay the SDGs. The SDGs are very clear in ensuring an equitable development for sectors, and especially the environment sector, which is a major enabler when it comes to human development. You cannot underplay the importance of environment. And this is the key thing. That's where the SDG goals are clearly important, and this has been the global guideline for any development in any human activities. And when it comes to waste management, goal 6 is very, very important, and that's talking about clean water and sanitation. The targets within that goal 6 have been the guiding principle under which our policy goals is based. Now, this is the policy thrust, is to support the introduction of creative solutions. We have to be creative because the resources are not just there. The resources are not there, so we need to go into creative mind. We have to have creative solutions to solve our problem in waste management and to harness the indigenous peculiarities. Edo State has its own peculiarities. There are indigenous strengths within the state, and this indigenous strength have to be harnessed for this. Talking about intellectual, talking about physical, and talking about several creative minds, and especially among the youth.
The ogbonge pipo wey tanda for dis meeting na Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, Deputy Governor Right Honourable Comrade Philip Shaibu, Secretary to the State Government Osaudion Oge Esquire, and other ogbonge persons. Matthew Ajakaye, TMC TV News.